that would be about floodplain. Go ahead.
The rain?
Yeah, that's floodplain is established by the government. They figure worst case scenario where if this area would flood, how high that water would go. Worst case scenario. So this water in this area would be too high for you to have a basement. It would fill your basement up with water. So we can't have a basement here. We have like it's about that high. We call it a crawl space because you got to crawl to get around in here. And because of that, we add this room in the back, which is the utility room. And that, as you can see, we have our furnace there. Unfortunately, the gas company has not hooked up our gas line. We've got heat in here. But we have a furnace and hot water heater, and then the laundry room, which is normally in the basement. Normally, we build a two-story house with laundry in the basement and all the utilities. So that's why we had to add that. And, so basically, once we get the second floor done and we do all the walls up there, it's a little more tricky. That's where we really need the volunteer help, because we got to have like 5 guys on the bottom here standing the walls up off the truck, 5 guys up above pulling it. We push and they pull and we drag them up, and we stand them up and put it all together. And then once we get all the walls stuck together, and we do what's called the trusses, the roof structure of the house. When you get upstairs, you'll see there's angled pieces. Those are all individual supports for the roof. We put them all up there with a crane. The crane comes one day and lifts them up there, and then we stand them together, nail them together, stand them up and nail them. And then once we get the roof structure, then we put the plywood down and tar paper, and then the roofer takes it. And it's real important. We were struggling through the winter with this house because we didn't get it under a roof before the bad weather set in. So we had like 8 inches of snow in here in the winter, and we had to shovel it out. So, it was really nice to get it under roof and get dry, because water on this flooring and everything is not good. It'll work on it. It can cause plywood to swell, and then you have to sand the floors. But anyway, that's basically how the house goes together. Does anybody have any questions about that process? Okay, and then as far as the house itself, this would be the family room. This is where they probably have the TV and the couch or whatever. This is a closet for hanging coats and stuff. And while we're here, you can see, once we get the house stood up and put together, we let the electricians, the plumbers, and the heating guys come in. You can see the little pipes there are the hot and the cold water. The white pipe is what we call the plumbing pipe. It's also serves as a vent pipe, because when you have drains, every time you have a drain, like in your sink or in your commode, there has to be a vent to let that draw air so that can go down to the sewer. So these white pipes, a lot of them are just vent pipes. And then the silver pipes that you see like this, and then because they're enclosed, these are heating runs. The ones that are open, like behind Cyrus there, you can see the metal up above and the hole along the floor. That draws the cold air, so that a furnace is always taking cold air from the house and going through and heating it, and then the heat comes out of the heat registers. The heat registers are right here on the floor for the first floor. This is the second floor. So, and of course you see all the wires and what we call electrical boxes. That's where your outlets are, and you also have switches up here for turning lights on and off. So that's basically, once they get done, then we insulate the house and then drywall it, and we finish it. And these houses are really insulated really well. They're Energy Star houses. They actually put a pressurized fan. They put a fan on the front door, and they pressurize this house. It has to pass certain requirements by the government to become a green, what they call an Energy Star approved house. And then the homeowner benefits by lower utility bills, and they sometimes get a tax credit for it. So, we really make you can see there's spray insulation up along the rim. That's a place where it could possibly leak air. All the boxes, you can see there's foam behind these boxes that we really seal it up tight. And it really really helps. What we found over the time, well, we're finding more and more, that because these houses are cheaper to heat and cool and the utilities are lower, it's helping these homeowners, because we've had in the past a few of them get in trouble and lose their house, you know. So with the lower utility bills, they're more likely to be able to handle, you know, this is affordable housing. In most cases, this is the people's first house. And, you know, it's quite a step for them. So it's really important to have it so they can hold on to the house. But anyway, as I was saying, this is the family room. We have right behind it is that small little area there is what we call a half bath. The reason we call it a half bath is it doesn't have a shower or a tub in it. All it has is a toilet and a sink. So that's what we call a half bath. And then over there in that back corner is the kitchen. That right where the window is going to be, normally you put the sink right where the window is so you can look outside from when you're doing your dishes. And there'll be counters around there, there'll be a stove. The stove will be on the back wall, refrigerator on this other wall. And we provide the appliances. And then the washer and dryer, of course, will be back there. You can see where the pipes are for the hookup for the washer and dryer. And then, of course, there's the furnace. And this door off to the right is the garage. It's nice for people have an attached garage where they can just pull in the wintertime and come right into the house. Not all our houses have attached garage. Sometimes the lot doesn't enable us to do attached garage, so we have a garage in the back. Whatever.